There are teenagers out there earning upwards of 5 to 6 figures per year just by reselling sneakers. And in this video, I, as well as other reselling friends of mine around Australia, are going to be teaching you the best ways for you guys to get into this $3 billion industry and the best ways to start on reselling sneakers. Coming right up now. So I myself, for a really long time, have been fascinated with the art of flipping sneakers or clothes and apparel for a really high price, and I've really been into that for a long time. So I've gained some knowledge throughout the years of sneaker reselling myself. I've experienced a lot of ups and downs when it comes to reselling and different tips that I wish I knew when I first started reselling sneakers, and as well as I have other tips from other friends in this culture that I really think that you are going to benefit from, and I wish that I had access to these tips when I was starting out. So the first tip that you probably want to do is camping out for your sneakers. So usually most of the time, the night before a big sneaker release, you have tons of resellers camping outside of storefronts. They bring camping chairs, blankets, food, etc. Basic necessities that they need for usually a 7 to maybe even upwards of 12 hours just for a camp out. The earlier the better, honestly. Like the time that you spend lying in bed all the time, you could just be lying in a fairly comfortable camping chair for 12 hours and making like $800 on sneaker reselling. So basically there are a lot of malls that open up early, so you can enter those malls. There's some storefronts outside that you can camp out outside of, and that's basically the most foolproof way to ensure that you get the sneaker that you want for a resale price. I personally wouldn't recommend camping 12 hours overnight for a sneaker that you can only come up like $50 profit on, because of course your time is valuable as well, and you don't really want to spend your time on things that aren't worth your time, if you get what I mean. So yeah, that's tip number one, camping out for your sneakers outside of storefronts, and make sure you're always prepared. You don't want to be sitting on the floor for 7 hours. The next tip I got for you guys is check market trends. I can't stress this enough. You really want to stay up to date with market trends, and with sneakers, the one I personally enjoy the most is StockX, because you can see how much the sneaker has been previously sold for, and you can see the 52-week high, which is the peak price that it sold for over a 52-week period. And they also have lowest ask rate. It's really useful when you're just starting out and you need it. You don't really want to sell a pair of like Yeezy V2s unless because you don't know the market values and the trends. You don't know that they've been restocking. Like the recent Zebra V2 restock, you don't really want to be selling that for more than what it's worth, because then you're going to be having a hard time selling those sneakers. Now the next tip I've got is stay up to date with releases as well. That really relates to the past two tips that I've told you before. So staying up to date with releases is really important, because you don't want to be that guy that wakes up one morning and then all of his friends are camping out for sneakers and he's still at home. So you really want to stay up to date with sneaker release dates. Probably follow a couple of Instagram pages online. I know Stash Sneakers, Cop for Profit. Those are all really useful pages that I use to monitor sneaker release dates, and that really gives me an insight on the next upcoming sneakers that are releasing in the next upcoming months. I know this month is going to be the craziest month in sneakers for this year. All-Star Weekend, you have you got the reverse bred ones. Oh my gosh, you got Travis Scott SB Dunks. You have all of these sneakers all dropping in February. So bank account's gonna hurt a little bit, but it's also gonna flush when we sell the sneakers. So I just entered. So yeah, that's tip number 3. Staying up to date with sneaker releases. That's really important. The fourth tip is enter raffles. Now entering raffles is a really easy way to sort of get a chance at your sneakers. There's two types of raffles. There's in-store raffles and there's online raffles. Online raffles are really cool because you can do it from the safety and luxury of your own home. But in-store raffles are really cool as well because they're also limited to the amount of people that are there. Sometimes they have like a full-size run, so about 10 to 20 pairs of sneakers in each store location, and they only give out, say, a set amount like 80 to 100 raffle tickets. So there is a slight camp out as well with the raffle ticket, which is insane. But usually with online raffles, you can get them at tier 0 retailers like End Clothing. Supply is really popular. People have been winning from Supply, and other sneaker retailers. I just entered the reverse bread 1 raffle. It's going to be drawn on February the 8th, and I got my parents to do it as well, got my grandparents, got all my friends to do it, because you really need to maximize your chances when it comes to buying sneakers on raffles. So the protocol with the in-store raffles is that you line up before the store opening, and then you sign up for a raffle, and then as they choose a set time to draw the raffle number, and then they get a chance to purchase the sneaker at retail. So I feel like that's a really easy way. Sometimes so everybody gets a fair chance. You know, you don't get those sweats that line up like 12 hours before everybody else. You really have a fair chance across everybody. So guys, just as an extra treat for you guys, I messaged a bunch of my reselling friends that have been doing this for about, like, you know, at least like over like 1 or like 3 to 3 years. I'm sure that they've been doing this sneaker reselling, and I just asked them to give me some insights about how to best give you guys the best possible chance of flourishing in the $3 billion sneaker industry. So right over here we got Sneaker Sid. So you got people like Sneaker Sid saying keeping up to date with trends, so you know what will rocket in price and what will break. So that was like one of my tips that I put, saying stay up to date with the market trends. Russian Proxide said do your research and hustle. Don't follow what everyone else is doing. Don't buy bricks like me and then pass it off saying nah, all good, I wanted it for personal anyway. Yeah, that's really good. That's a really good advice as well. Don't buy bricks like Yeezy V2s that like have 2 million stocks. Don't really buy those as to flip. You might have a hard time selling those even for retail. Pumpkicks AU said be patient, don't rush sell. That's really good as well. Don't rush sell. So sometimes if you hold them for 6 months, you can actually see much bigger profits than selling, say, I remember the Air Jordan 4 Travis Scott's. Someone sold a DS pair for $500. Now they go for about like 2,000, I think. So don't rush sell. If it's a really limited sneaker, maybe hold it for a couple months if you don't need the money immediately. But if you do need the money and you need to get cashed out, there's no problem with making a quick flip. So yeah guys, I do hope that you picked up some information about how to best start sneaker reselling, and yeah, hopefully you can use these tips to maximize your profits. Also make sure that it's just a hustle game. You don't really need $1,000 in capital money to invest in like sneakers. You only need like a couple hundred. Buy one hyped up shoe, flip that, and then keep the cycle moving. That's how I started, just to generate that capital. Also hit up your local outlets as well. I know that people cook out a lot on outlets and then sell it on other platforms such as eBay or Gumtree to people that actually use the running sneakers for what they are used for, like gym shoes. You can like get really sick discounts as well if you know where to go. I know DFO does some really like cool 50% off store wides that you can go to, buy like a pair of shoes, buy like 10 pairs of shoes at like $50 each, and then you can sell them for like $100 each and double your money. And yeah, that's basically another quick way as well. Hit up outlets. I just thought to add that in at the end. But yeah guys, I hope that really will help you maximize your profits, and yeah, hope you learned something new. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. I think we're about like 95 subs away from the big 1K, so I'll really appreciate that if you hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in another video. I'm just Salvador, and peace.